Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 17 of Monday Evening with Alex and Luke. My name is Luke Vijan.
And I'm Alex Sabine.
And we are in a yurt in Valley of the Rogues,
Oregon.
Nice.
But the real question is, how did we get here? We started off this week in Morro Bay on the coast of California.
And then we drove up the PCH past San Francisco to Petaluma, California.
Yeah, and then we came back down to stay in Berkeley.
And then we stayed in San Francisco the following night, before driving really south again, all the way back down to Santa Cruz.
And then we went back up north, just outside of Sacramento, to a place called Lincoln.
And then we drove all the way to Valley of the Rogues, Oregon.
Yeah, where we are now.
Our favorite city this week is, unsurprisingly, the city of Full House, San Francisco.
San Francisco is one of the coolest cities I've ever been to. As soon as we got there, I felt very at home.
Yeah, and people were killing it on the suggestions. We had good food suggestions, site suggestions,
neighborhoods, and
windy road driving suggestions.
Yeah, I had a blast there. We walked all around the Mission Hill, and then went to Chinatown and Telegraph Hill, and we did everything. We loved it. We could have stayed there for 2 weeks. I can't wait to go back.
Except then we wouldn't have had any budget to do the rest of the trip.
Yeah,
very expensive city, but really cool city.
I loved it.
And we met up with so many cool people while we were there. So.
Yeah, what a whirlwind week. San Francisco, we love you.
We love you.
I have always loved Airstream trailers, but I never thought I'd get the chance to sleep in one. But this week we did, and that's why it's our favorite sleep of the week.
We slept in an Airstream trailer just outside of Santa Cruz, California, and we booked it using Airbnb, which was a company we actually met up with in San Francisco.
Yeah, they gave us kind of a rundown of how Airbnb really works, and we thought it was the perfect week to give it a try.
And it was great.
It was awesome. We had such a good time. It's so much better than staying in a hotel. You get to meet people while you're at it, and you go to areas that, you know, hotels just aren't where these places are. We stayed right in the redwood trees, and it was awesome. Favorite sleep of the week.
Our favorite meal this week occurred at a takeout window unlike any other you've probably ever visited in Berkeley, California.
It was gourmet takeout. Absolutely delicious, at a place called Gregoire's, suggested by Josh from Guala.
On Twitter. And it's amazing. You can get pork, there's steaks, there's salads, there's potatoes. It's really, really good. Well priced, well portioned as well. You could definitely share one with your friends. And, or not share one and just have your friends steal some of your prize bites. It's really, really good.
So good. Mouth-watering.
And you can't get better food from a takeout window. We know, I think, now.
Our favorite attraction this week? Easy. It was driving up the Pacific Coastal Highway from Morro Bay to Monterey, California. And
I've heard about it before. I've heard people say that it's beautiful, but hopefully these pictures do it a bit more justice than our words can. We drove through Big Sur, and we drove past elephant seals, and it's just the most delightful way to drive, right? Like, we've been driving a lot.
Yeah. But this was unforgettable. This was like no other drive we've had. The video speaks for itself. It's
a true attraction. It's worth the visit if you're...
And it's free if you have a car.
Yes.
And we were drawn a map of all the good places to go by a woman we met in Morro Bay before we headed out. So we were very lucky. We stopped at Nepenthe, which was unbelievable. An old hippie commune that's been turned into a restaurant. Anyway, favorite attraction of the week.
Unbelievable. Our favorite moment this week occurred in Petaluma, California when we visited the Twit Cottage.
It was so awesome to be at the Twit Cottage with Leo Laporte. He peeked his head in. I waved at him.
I didn't know.
And we were actually on one of their podcasts, Net at Night. So it was so cool.
Yeah, it's a place I've always wanted to go. Leo's been a mild hero to me for a while. Yeah. So going to Leo Laporte's Twit Cottage was my favorite moment of the week. And the people on Net at Night were great.
Yeah, and it was a highlight of the trip, probably. But I have to remind you that there's also something else that happened this week. It actually happened yesterday.
But it reminded me of the worst thing. We always lose our pillows.
Yeah,
and we tell the story a lot that we lose our pillows everywhere
I don't know how it's possible. But yesterday we stayed with the family, Heather and Brian and Penelope. And they gave us 2 new pillows. We cried. It was really, really sweet. Favorite moment of the week. Favorite moments of the week. Our thing learned this week is actually something really, really useful. We learned how to make French press coffee.
We learned this at Verve in Santa Cruz, and Aaron from Gadlean actually told us about it and brought us there and chauffeured us through the whole thing. But we learned exactly how much water to use, how much coffee to use, how many times to stir it, how long to steep it. It was amazing.
It was really complicated, but really fun. And apparently every single Friday, they do some kind of coffee tutorial or a coffee tasting at Verve in Santa Cruz.
Side note, best coffee I've had on the whole trip is at Verve.
Didn't even taste like any coffee I'd ever had before.
I've never been that messed up on coffee.
We were very caffeinated.
Our favorite song this week is a CD that's been in our CD player since we left, a band called Miniature Tigers.
Yeah, you might not have heard of them. We actually saw them play, they opened for Fun in Rochester about a year ago, so we're very well versed with this band, but you might not be. The song that we choose is Dino Damage.
And we don't have it playing right now, but we can pretend to dance to it, because the music will be on in the background.
That's episode 17 of Monday Evening with Alex and
Luke. Signing off from the yurt in Valley of the Rogues, Oregon. And there's a legitimate Oregon Trail style thing right beside us. Yeah.
We'll get some pictures later.
Maybe we'll drive in it.
See you next week.
Alex and Luke.